we have a good old-fashioned cat fight on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. Meow. Fight, 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 fight. Here we go. In this corner, clinging on to an outdated business model, it's AMC Theaters. And in this corner, making animated movies about singing trolls, it's Universal Studios. Who will win this battle of bickering? Ding, 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 ding. God. This is such a great story. I don't know if you're aware of this. So okay, this happened like a couple weeks ago, but we have to talk about it now because it's so fascinating for so many reasons. And I just don't know who's winning this fight. I don't know why this fight is even happening. I don't know what either of these companies are thinking by like posting catty statements on social media and in press releases. I don't get it. I truly don't get why these two ladies can't get along. But, you know, ladies are going to do what ladies are going to do, and that is pull each other's hair out. Here's what happened, right? A pandemic. That's what happened. I don't know if you're aware, but like no one's going outside because people are dying out there. So yeah, movie theaters are closed because of the coronavirus. And because movie theaters are closed, movie studios had a bunch of stuff in the pipe ready for release. And now they have a decision to make. Either push back the release of, say, Black Widow and Fast and Furious 9 until after the pandemic has been resolved, or proceed as scheduled and put your movies out on video on demand or on the streaming service of your choice. And some studios have reacted differently than others. Disney, for example, has remained steadfast on this. They believe the theater-going model still works for them. All Disney properties, with the exception of one called Artemis Fowl, which is coming out on Disney Plus in a few weeks, all of the Disney releases have been pushed back indefinitely. Mulan, Black Widow, the Pixar movie Soul, they believe theater-going model still works for them. Other studios have been a little more ambitious. Like the independent studio behind The Lovebirds, the Kumail Nanjiani Issa Rae comedy. That movie was supposed to hit theaters in April. Instead, they sold the movie to Netflix, and now Netflix will be releasing it in late May. I'm sure they're very happy with that deal. Not a major studio that sold that movie. I think Paramount might have been the distributor for that, but nevertheless, it is now a Netflix production. So they got creative with the financing model there. And then there's Universal Studios, Universal Pictures, who, I don't want to exaggerate here. I don't want to use hyperbole, but they broke the fucking wheel, as Daenerys Targaryen once said. They got this cat fight going, and I'm pretty sure the movie-going experience will never be the same because of this. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but I'm pretty sure this is the shot heard around the world. And we all knew this moment was coming. We all knew that movie theaters and on-demand were going to come to blows eventually. We've been anticipating this battle for over a decade now. What we did not know is that Trolls World Tour was the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. We did not know that this would be the catalyst. And I'll admit, I am as shocked as the next guy that Trolls World Tour was the straw that broke the camel's back. But sometimes we can't choose our martyrs, you know? Sometimes they just choose us. Here's what happened. Universal Studios puts out Trolls World Tour. I think I talked about this on the last podcast. They get the returns back on Trolls World Tour. On-demand numbers. They're getting, in most cases, $20 a pop for each rental. And they report very good earnings, somewhere in the ballpark of $90 million. Roughly what they would have made with a theatrical release of Trolls World Tour. The difference here is that when a movie is released in a movie theater, the theater demands 50% of the revenue. Half of ticket sales go directly to the theaters. So when a studio is looking at the box office returns of one of their movies, they want to make at least double what they spent on it. Because again, the theaters take half, the studio gets the other half. That's how revenue sharing works. It's a very expensive model. With on-demand viewing, whether it be through your cable provider or through iTunes or some other third-party rental service, in most cases, the platform takes only 10% of the revenue. The studio gets to keep the other 90%. So even if Trolls World Tour would have made more in movie theaters, which I doubt, they still generated a lot more profit for themselves by sticking to an at-home rental. 90% of the revenue versus 50% of the revenue. And I would argue because we're all stuck at home and parents are homeschooling their children who are fucking bored out of their minds, Trolls got the Corona bump. And I think more people checked out that movie because it was a new movie released during a pandemic than if it were just another children's movie released in theaters. That's my theory. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but either way, Universal scored a big victory with Trolls World Tour. Go figure. They then release a statement saying, that Trolls World Tour was incredibly successful, and we do not plan on stopping the on-demand releases anytime soon. Coming next month is the Judd Apatow comedy, The King of Staten Island, starring Pete Davidson. As a matter of fact, here's a trailer for you to enjoy. On demand, go figure. AMC theaters, along with other movie theaters, do not take kindly to this victory parade. And they release an incredibly catty statement. And man, I just saw the claws coming out as I read this. Like it's like I'm watching one of those Real Housewives shows, and the woman just took out her weave. That's what I was envisioning as I read this statement from Adam Aron, the president of AMC Entertainment. Quote, "This radical change by Universal to the business model that currently exists between our two companies represents nothing but downside for us and is categorically unacceptable to AMC Entertainment. Accordingly, we want to be absolutely clear so that there is no ambiguity of any kind. AMC believes that with this proposed action to go to the home and theaters simultaneously, Universal is breaking the business model and dealings between our two companies." And he continued to say that AMC will no longer release a Universal production for the foreseeable future. Yeah. So that new Fast and Furious movie that's supposed to be coming out next year, AMC apparently wants no part of that. Okay, Adam Aron. I want to believe that Adam Aron is well equipped to handle himself in this cockfight. I want to believe that he's not just puffing out his feathers and making a big stink, but that he actually has the goods. I just don't believe that Adam Scott is well equipped. And you could take that dig as you will. But the man is not exactly exuding BDE, if you know what I'm saying. This is insane to me. So Universal hits back. Our desire has always been to effectively deliver entertainment to as wide an audience as possible. We absolutely believe in the theatrical experience and have made no statement to the contrary. Well, I mean, you kind of did, but that's neither here nor there.